2. Dom, how we feeling?
Feel good. I mean, we are officially 4 days away now from the start of legal tampering period for free agency, which is going to be the highlight of this conversation today. But
Mm-hmm.
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, we got the World Baseball Classic kicking off. I'm repping the Puebla Pericos right now with
There
the
you go.
jersey. Baseball season is here. Always feels good when the World Baseball Classic is going on, even though it's across the big pond right now. It's still baseball, and I'm here
It
for
is
it.
still baseball. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it here before we get to our. I was going to say little game, but it's going to be pretty lengthy. Um, News of today: DJ Moore traded from the Bears to the Buffalo Bills
Yes.
for a second round pick. Uh, Bills get DJ Moore and a fifth rounder in return. Initial thoughts? Kick it to you
I
first.
when I first saw the trade come in, I was like, all right, probably going to be for like a fourth. Sounds pretty fair. And I saw it was for a second. I don't love that personally, just because like last year, DK Metcalf was traded for a second round pick. And Steelers going to get a fifth back, but at the end of the day, it's a fifth. Not a whole lot you're going to do with that. I just think it's a little steep.
I don't know because, I mean, like looking back, I think that was about fair, if I'm being completely honest, because just for the sake of it, is DJ Moore younger than DK Metcalf yet?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think that DJ Moore's 29, DK might be 28.
DJ Moore
DJ
turns
Moore's
29
28.
next month. DK Metcalf.
Turns 29 next month. No, in December, I'm sorry.
In December. So
It's like a 9 month
DJ Moore is a
difference.
little, yeah, about the same age there. Um, I don't know. It felt about normal. I wasn't too shocked by the price tag on that there. I do think Bears kind of had to move off of him, though. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean they're trying to
Dunze took
trade for.
over. Yeah, I mean, at best,
Well,
DJ Moore was going to be their third option, and
yeah,
possibly even the fourth option. And with a $24 million cap hit, not great for
yeah.
them.
I mean,
I mean, Bill's
yeah.
getting a number one receiver at $24 million is nice, but
I don't know if I'd call DJ Moore number one, but he's gonna be.
he's middle of the pack, wide receiver one of the wide receiver ones.
Sure.
Like I think he's in that 14 to 17 range.
Nah, I'd probably put him closer to 20, but that's a story for a different day.
Fair enough. I'm just trying to go back to the game where. Come on now. Game logs. There we go. Jesus Christ. That was not fun to figure out there. The Green Bay game that went into overtime. They ended up winning because Dunze and Burden were out for that game, were they not?
Yeah,
And he was 5 for 97, a touchdown. Like he definitely dipped off in production this year. He had a lot of rough games for
sure,
sure.
sure.
But again, too, like I mean, that's just a lot of Caleb kind of developing that relationship pretty quickly with Adunze. Burden was coming on. That was Ben Johnson's first pick, and then Loveland coming on at the end. It
Loveland was
definitely made a
Ben
lot of
Johnson's
sense.
first pick.
Oh yeah, that's right. Loveland and then Burden in the second round. Got that flip flop there. I was thinking about Doomsday's draft spot, but Luther Burden. But yeah, no, I mean, I like it for the Bills. Objectively, like you got a guy that's not just going to run screens for you,
Yeah. I mean,
and
as a fan of football, it's a good move for the Bills.
yeah,
As a fan of the draft and thinking about picks, I think slight overpay, especially when you're taking on the full brunt of that contract, when you have other needs that you need to address as well. A little bit tougher of a pill to swallow, but teach their own. Deal's done. Not a whole lot you can do.
yeah. I mean, I feel like it makes more sense for them with they're drafting at what
6,
24,
26.
something like that.
It's not 24. Definitely not.
It's got to be close there though.
I'll tell you in a second. Keep going.
They went out round two, but
26.
regardless, that was close.
I literally said 26 4 times.
Oh, I didn't hear you say 26.
Yeah.
Didn't hear that a single time. Um, I feel like at that spot, with the way that this draft is shaping up, it's a little bit. I don't want to say easier, but I think there's going to be more D line and edge stuff there at that spot versus
Yeah.
taking a fly. I mean, you can run it back like you did with Keon Coleman and kind of take a swing at a receiver late in the first round, but that doesn't look like it's going to be great. Also, the other interesting part on this too, I forgot about. Joe Brady was the OC in Carolina.
Yep. For the last, for two of DJ Moore's years, 2020 and 2021, he was his
In
OC.
2020, he was 93 for.
11.
Oh, sorry, 2020, 2021. 2020, he was 66 for just under 1,200, and then 2021, 93 for 1,157.
Pretty similar, just more catches in the second year.
Yeah, and that's with Kyle Allen, Darnold pre-revival, Baker for a little bit, and who was the other one at that time?
That I saw it earlier.
PJ Walker and a little bit of Cam Newton.
Yeah. Anyways, those are kind of my thoughts overall. I think it's good for the Bills. It's good for both teams. It'll benefit them both either way. If I'm leaning value, which I tend to do with trades, I'm going to lean on the side of what Chicago did, get a higher draft pick, as well as get off a contract that's going to hurt them in the long run. However, go ahead.
I was just going to say,
switch gears.
to your point on the Bears there, they now have 2 seconds and their first,
Mm-hmm.
and Max Crosby just sitting out there.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what they're loading up to do. If I'm them, this is a down draft class. Send that. I mean,
Yeah,
give
those
me.
3 picks, 100% I would move off of for
I mean, it's
Crosby.
gonna be more than that, but like, give me the less need method. F them picks, man.
Hell yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I would, I mean, for a team that was, that I will want to fade going into next year with all the turnover luck and one score games,
No.
it's going to be really hard not to really like this team going into next year.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they kind of do here starting next week and going forward.
All right.
But two other trades that happened, we'll touch on real quick.
Mm-hmm.
David Montgomery traded to the Houston Texans, and Trent McDuffie traded to the Rams. Don't worry about that. It was a cat.
Did the catches kill itself?
No, she's fine.
Okay. Yes, David Montgomery to Houston. Um, I'll just be quick on that one. I really like that for
Yeah,
Houston.
I think it gets you the bruiser back that you're kind of interested in. Kind of do it all. Good blocker, can catch.
Mm-hmm. And
Not a,
even as he's kind of aging,
yeah, he's
be
like
29 by the
27. Oh, 29.
he'll be 29 by the time the season starts.
Yeah, but they'll probably get a younger back in with him as well, mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think it'll
I
be
mean, Woody
fine.
Marks was giving him a little bit of juice,
Yeah,
but
but
they didn't have a physical guy that could,
no,
you know, run between those awful, awful offensive linemen.
true. Yeah, but yeah, I like it a lot for them. And then on the Detroit side of the ball, you're gonna lean on Gibbs heavy at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be interesting dynamic to see what they're doing as they move away from a dual backfield to the bell cow in Gibbs and to see what that looks like with him carrying a full load. So I'm very curious about that going forward.
Yeah, I feel like they'll get something of note
Sure,
to
but I
just
don't.
kind of eat some
It's
touches.
yeah, it's not going to be like that though.
Right. No, it's not. It's definitely not going to be the same thing that we've seen for the last couple of years. And then McDuffie,
It's a lot of picks, 4 picks.
a lot of picks.
So this year's first, fifth, next year's third,
It's
and I think a fourth.
let me double check that. It was something like that. I know it was a lot of picks.
4 picks. I just know it's pick 29 this year, which
Yes. Yeah, it was the Rams' own first round pick, not the.
I would
Uh,
100% do that.
yeah.
Next year's third's a little bit tough, but again, at that point, do what you got to do. I'm not gonna sit here and nickel and dime something like that.
Mm-hmm. A one, a five, a six this year, and then
Six
next
is
year's third.
yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, 5 and a 6 tends to be nothing. Just like depth guys. At the end of the day, you'll hit lightning in a bottle every now and again with guys like Puka. I mean, obviously the Tom Brady anomaly,
Yeah.
Antonio Brown. Like you'll hit those guys
Mm-hmm.
once a draft, maybe 9 times out of 10, 9.7 times out of 10, you're not hitting. So like, I don't care about that. Joe McDuffie's young still, proven to be a
And
top 7 corner in the league, and that was your biggest weakness last year.
yes.
Instantly now you're strengthening the secondary. You're giving your team a chance to be better at where you're failing. So I like the
Mm-hmm.
move a lot. Now that frees you up with pick 13 to potentially go offensive line, wide receiver. You know, I mean, shit, you can even double down on your secondary if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for the Rams, it makes a ton of sense. You don't know uh, how much more you're going to get out of Stafford at this point. Like he's coming back this year, but I mean, those wheels are going to fall off at some point. He's lived a pretty rough football life.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. Try to squeeze every ounce of juice out of that as possible, and get
yeah,
the most out of
100%.
it. And McDuffie is great. Like especially in the slot, like he's gonna be a difference maker for them because the front seven was great, especially that pass rush. But if they weren't getting home, you could you could move the ball on them for sure.
Unfortunately, that happened quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. By one Sam Darnold as well.
Multiple times.
I'm so happy I played the long game on him. All right. um, Now with that, a couple days away from legal tampering, like you said, moratorium.
Hmm.
We want to call it that if we want to use the NBA terms.
Funny. Yeah, noon on Monday, the 9th, we will hear um how quickly these deals come in. It typically takes about 5 minutes for the first deal, which
Yes.
is always hilarious to me.
Mm.
What you get one phone call from your agent and go, yeah,
But yeah, those are the terms. Yeah, we'll just sign that real quick. I'm just a really fast reader.
I'm very speculative. DeAndre Swift 2 years ago,
Yeah.
it was 1206, and that deal
Yeah.
came in. It's absurd, dude. Actually absurd.
Shit. Yeah, but we have a pretty fun class this year.
It's a weird class, man. I wouldn't
It's a
necessarily use
very
it.
interesting.
Yeah, it's different for sure. A wide range of names, some fun, some not fun.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we're gonna go over what is about 15 names here, our thoughts on where they're gonna go, and just potential landing spots as a whole, other than where we're picking. So yeah,
Yep. All right. Well, let's start with the quarterbacks, and we'll go with the biggest name first here because I feel like we are probably on the same side of this one. Aaron
I think we're
Rodgers.
not. Oh, Aaron Rodgers. I didn't know that's where you're going with the biggest name.
Let's just get this out of the way here.
Um, yeah. So Rodgers went on Pat Mack yesterday, and he was talking, and I was getting a weird sense of things from him. And from my understanding, and there's a lot of shit that gets out there in the media and whatnot. He clearly isn't ready to make a decision. He's not there. He's enjoying having sex with his wife. Let's call it what it is. Um, Good for him, I guess. But
Different type of darkness retreat this time.
um, my sense is that he's going to retire, and that is where I'm at. I don't think he plays in
Mm.
2026.
Yeah, I think he's going back to Pittsburgh.
That those are the two options, honestly.
Yeah, I I do definitely think he's going to come back. He's going to do the same thing he's done the last several years. He's going to draw this whole thing out, make it take a long time. He's going to have the Steelers by the balls in this, just waiting to hear what he does. Or, but damn, a storm rolling in. Whole
Odd.
building just shook for a second there.
I heard
Um,
that.
oh my god. All right. Anyway, yeah. Or he's already told them behind the scenes, and they're just not gonna make it public, so he can just go on this little media tour again to make himself feel special and be able to get onto McAfee a few more times and tell us we're all weird for wondering about his wife because we've never seen her.
Nobody's
And
ever seen her.
yeah, and he's just like, she's just a really private person. Okay? There's a lot of people that are private. You're not.
Yeah,
You're in public.
you're
You're,
purposely in public. If you want to be private,
yeah,
retire, and we'll forget about you.
exactly. Like, how have we not accidentally seen her?
Yeah, he's a weird dude, man. I don't know, but yeah, there's just a weird vibe that I was getting from the situation, and that's kind of what I took out of it. If he comes back, sure, why not? If he doesn't come back, cool.
My other pushback to you on him retiring is, don't you think he's gonna want to do a little like farewell tour?
No, I don't think so. I think he'd care less. If he was gonna do it, it would have been last year. Like it would have been a public farewell tour because he played Green Bay and the Jets, so it would have made like the most sense to do it
Yeah, I don't know. He's one
then.
of those like, oh, I don't want the attention. I just want to, play football and whatever. But loves making headlines.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I just I don't know what we're gonna get here.
Fair enough. All right. Now who did you think I meant by the biggest name?
Uh, Malik,
Hmm.
because
I think
technically
he's the
it's
most interesting.
he's the most sought after in this class of quarterback.
Yeah. I'd agree with.
Do I want him for the Steelers? No, but he's gonna get the biggest deal out of the group.
Yeah. Where do you have him going? I'm very curious about this.
Um, I mean, I think realistically, there's two places he's gonna go. I think it's Miami, or I think it is Arizona. I don't really see him going anywhere else. I don't really. Doesn't make sense. Like, there's no other place for him to go. I went with the one that made the most sense, which is Arizona.
Yeah, me
Has
too.
more cap, better situation for him, and the team I think is set up. Plus, you have an offensive-minded head coach there. I think that's going to work with you. Yes, you have ties to Miami, but Miami's in hell. Don't go to Miami.
Yeah.
I just think Arizona makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean that division is definitely a lot scarier, I think. Um, but it does feel like it makes the most sense for
Hmm.
him for them. Like Miami just feels like a complete like Halfley is in for a rough time, dude. Like that thing is getting blown up at the seams.
Yeah,
It feels
I mean,
like.
luckily he's in a good situation. Um, it seems like the GM, I mean, GM's John Eric Sullivan, who also came from Green Bay. Um, so they're kind of like setting it up to be like, we're gonna just ride this out. We're gonna let it happen. He's not a fall guy. He's not a scapegoat. We're gonna
Right.
give him.
You're just
He's
gonna have to
getting a
take your
leash.
lumps.
Yeah, he's getting a leash, which is something that doesn't always happen with guys coming into these situations. You're expected, doesn't matter how bad it is, you're expected to do well. And if you don't do well, you get kicked to the curb. With him, they're like, we're giving you the leash. The last regime fucked it. Take your time, figure it out with what you got to do. We trust your idea. That's why we brought you in here. So it's
Yeah.
good, but that doesn't mean hiring.
It's good for Malik Willis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No free agent's gonna want to go there, and it doesn't really make sense for Miami to want to bring him in there. Like, I'm not gonna start on the quarterback on my rebuild of a guy that's only played in like 10 games.
Mhm.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, it just makes too much sense in Arizona. Now, speaking of Arizona, the smallest name on this list, Kyler Murray. I have two fun ideas with this one.
Sure, there's fun. I mean, there's a lot of ideas that you could go with this because he's in a unique position of he can go somewhere cheaper. It's like Aaron Rodgers last year. I can take a lesser deal, or Russell Wilson 2 years
Yeah.
ago. I can take a lesser deal. I'm getting paid to play here by somebody else. The one I have down is Jets. It's the one that's kind of been linked a lot, just because that they need a quarterback. They need something. He's something, and they at least have some pieces that he could work with. However, for the Jets, what if he accidentally works out? Kind of ruins your plans going.
Mhm.
Then there's the fun idea, which is Minnesota.
That's what I have. That's what I have
The
written down as
You
Minnesota.
want to
Yeah.
know what the really fun idea is?
I really hope you're saying the same thing that I'm thinking.
The Rams. The Rams are a
Yes.
really fun idea.
100%. That is the really fun one. Go somewhere where you're not going to play and just be there and wait for
Hmm.
Stafford to retire. The Rams currently have no succession plan. Obviously, they're still trading away picks, and they're not going to be bad enough anytime soon to be in a position to be drafting a guy. Yes, 100%. I would love that for him. Do I think it's going to happen?
No, not
No.
necessarily.
But I do
I think
think I
I
think
think
if
Minnesota would be good, very good for
yes.
him.
I feel like
But
you have to want to go there
yeah,
if you're Kyler Murray, and his representation too is like go see Kevin O'Connell, let him fix you, and then we'll go from there.
yeah, 100%. I think his three main places he could go right now is the Jets, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh. I think that's kind of where he's looking.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the three locations that make the most sense. Will the Steelers offer him or reach out to his camp? I have no idea. Like you said previously, they could be in Rogers hell and like that's it.
Yeah,
But I hope not.
yeah. You hope he's not going to burn them, but yeah, I think the Minnesota one there. I like that fit a
Yeah,
lot.
I like it a lot. I think Kyler's gonna just do better wherever he goes
Mm-hmm.
because I think regardless, it's gonna be a better situation. It's gonna be.
Unless he goes to the Jets, let's be real.
I think in a way it's a lateral move more so than
Mm-hmm.
anything. But I think the offensive line's better. I think it's a better coaching
Don't
staff.
I don't think I like the idea of Kyler Murray not in good weather or not in a dome. That's
It's
the other
fair.
reason I like Minnesota a lot. It's just like,
I
okay, oh, you go to Chicago, you go to Green Bay. Might be a little rough, but
you'll
you get
figure
to
it out.
avoid a lot of rough weather.
Yeah, I think being in New York might kill him.
He'll be one hell of a Twitch streamer by December.
It's fair. All right, you want to
And
go
then let's
Kirk?
get the yeah, I was gonna say let's get the last of the quarterbacks out of the way here. Kirk Cousins.
Um, I had Minnesota just going back there,
That's
being a
fair.
little bit of a mentor for JJ. I think that's better for long term for Minnesota more so than anything because you can still save your first round pick if you do that. But if you bring in Kyler, you're not really going to be saving much.
I I do think that Minnesota wants to have a competition.
Yeah,
And I think with perception of Kyler, despite being a number one pick, everything like that, like his stock and image is at an all time low. That if you say you are having a competition, it's not nearly as controversial. I feel like having Kirk Cousins come in and saying it's a competition puts Kirk in a really awkward position where he's gonna want to be very supportive
hmm
of JJ, but also probably knows he's a better option. And I feel like that just like makes that dynamic very awkward by having a competition with a guy that's supposed to be mentoring you. It's just weird.
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, but I think if you have JJ sit again for the, I mean, he's technically never had to sit. He's been forced to sit because
Mm-hmm.
he can't stay healthy, which is a problem in its own right. But actually learn the offense, learn behind a guy that had to do that.
Yeah,
I think that would be really good for him. What
yeah,
would,
I agree. Like in theory, it would
yeah,
be, but I feel like that needed to happen with Kirk still being on the roster when he got drafted. Yeah. So I have Kirk going to the home of older quarterbacks that have made their money,
Cleveland, Indy.
Indianapolis. Yeah.
It's fair
I
because
mean,
you're gonna be
you can
missing
get them
Danny
cheap. You're
Dimes for
right.
how
You
many
get
months?
to ease Danny
It's fair.
Dimes back into it.
It's fair.
Whoever you're bringing in is a placeholder. Like that seems like much more of a seamless transition than Kirk Cousins being in Minnesota with McCarthy. Like it's a little bit different that way. I feel like so.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, he'll like again just coming in day one. He's gonna play until Daniel Jones can come back,
Fair. Super fair.
and everybody's just aware of the situation that is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where do we want to go next? Do we want to get some
Anything on
defensive guys in here?
here? We'll hit our two defensive guys with this
Or
list.
two defensive guys? I mean, they're both edge rushers. They carry a
Yeah.
little bit of weight here, so let's go with the bigger one, Trey Hendrickson.
I have him going to New England. It's kind of like my gut. If this was like a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever, I would have maybe thought Houston, but New England has a little bit of money to play with still. They need a bona fide edge. I think Trey kind of fits that mold. He's not going to cost you an arm and a leg per se, but he's still at the higher echelon of
Yeah, he's
caliber.
not going to be top of the market, but
I
still
mean,
not
you're probably
cheap.
looking at like a $34 million guy for 3 years, and he'll fit right into what Vrabel's going to want to do. I like that fit. I mean, sure, a lot of teams would fit that mold. You have Baltimore,
Mhm.
you have Philly, who's always looking for an edge, but then you also have like the Bears. You have the Saints potentially needing an edge. Try to go back to New Orleans. Then you have, I don't know, like no, oh wow, you have Los Angeles Chargers. You have Buffalo needing edge. The Niners are always looking for edge help. So it's just like there's a lot of teams that constantly want to build and develop on that end. But I think you're looking at more of a team that doesn't want to develop a guy, wants a guy that's right away ready. And I mean, obviously Trey's like 31. This could be his last big contract, and he wants to win. So New England coming off a Super Bowl appearance wants to build on that, and I think this is the best way to do it.
I went a very different route, but
Okay.
for some of the reasons that you listed specifically, like him trying to cash in, I went with the Titans.
Mm, interesting.
Outside of Simmons, there's not a lot to like on that defense.
Interesting.
And that division, where your other quarterbacks are going to be Trevor Lawrence and the questions of can he do it again in back to back years, CJ Stroud behind that offensive line, and then, potentially Kirk Cousins, potentially another bridge guy. I mean, you go through the list of guys that could be playing quarterback for the Colts to start the year, and
Yeah.
then Daniel Jones off an Achilles at the end of the year. A good draft. You're drafting four already. Spend the money to get an edge rusher. Use the number 4 pick for anything else, really.
My love.
Jeremiah Love, you can go corner at that point. Like,
I'd definitely not go corner. I think
I'm just saying you could. You could.
not if Sonny Styles still on the board here.
That's fair. But regardless, even still, like you can fill another hole there. Um,
Sure.
Bob Sala, defensive guy, Wood is probably dying to have another like just productive vet in the room.
Yeah.
I like
Super
the fit a lot.
super fair.
And I feel
Line of
like
thought.
of all of the teams that have the money and could spend the money, Titans will probably give them the most.
I think the Titans are gonna surprise us a bit with free agency. I do have them on here for some other people, just not
Mm,
on that line of thinking. But
fair enough.
I do like where your head's at with that.
Yeah. And then Let's jump to the other one, Jalen Phillips.
I mean, it's the same route. It's a handful of teams looking for edge. Some people are going to be held up if Max Crosby isn't traded by Monday.
Hmm.
I want Crosby because he'd be the better option out of anybody, but I'm not about to spend. So in that realm, I went with the team that I know is probably not going to want to spend up on Crosby, but needs help more than anybody else in the league. Picking decently high in the draft, but probably not high enough to get one of the top four guys, I'd say. Definitely not top three. So I went with Baltimore, going with Jalen Phillips here. I mean,
I wouldn't hate it.
he's growing into himself a lot more over the past couple of years. Dealt with a lot of injuries, but stayed healthy for the most part. The last year and a half showed what he can do when healthy and be productive. Going into and Anthony Weaver's your DC now, who was
Hmm.
DC down in Miami for Jalen Phillips. Kind of makes a lot of sense. Go with the guy that's worked with you and molded you into what you are.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I wouldn't be upset about that at all. Um, but I have him going to. This is where I have the Patriots
Fair.
on there.
Yeah.
A lot of the same things. I think he
Mhm.
is a more affordable option. Now, granted, like we said, Patriots have a ton of money to work with here, but
Mhm.
he is a little bit cheaper of the option. You know, you don't want to be too reactionary
Yeah.
with the Super Bowl run and just go, we just needed one more piece and overspend on something. Usually, it's very rare that the big free agency signing is ends up being like a true difference maker for a team there. So I think that's a good building block for the Patriots, but not like I said, you're not going to be spending as much as somebody is going to inevitably spend on Hendrickson.
Correct. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad about Jalen Phillips in purple.
Yeah. I just think it makes a lot of sense.
I just have a feeling we didn't put him on here because that's not enough, not as much fun to talk about. But like, I could see an Owe reunion
Sure.
because he went from struggling, he gets Jesse Minter for 5 minutes and immediately becomes more of an impact guy. Like if they're gonna pay for one, I feel like that's probably the level of free agent signing it'll be,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
they're definitely going to be looking for one in the draft.
fair. Just
That's
again, I
just
don't.
knowing how the Ravens operate. If it's not an aging wide receiver, they don't want to spend more than $4 million in free agency
Yeah.
or
You
Derrick Henry.
speaking of aging wide receiver, let's just get into it.
Yeah. Are we going with the aging wide receiver here?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be
Mike
my thought
Evans?
process. Yeah.
It's the Bucks. Let's be real.
I don't think it is.
I feel like he's
I think it
too
would have
attached
gotten
there.
done. I think it would have gotten done already if it was Tampa.
I don't think he's. I think he's understanding that he's going to be taking quite the pay cut
Hmm.
to do it, but I just feel like he's the type of guy that's gonna want to be there for the whole time. He's already
Yeah.
got his Super Bowl. Like he's got no real reason to go ring chasing.
Sure. But I don't know. I want the different lineup.
Boy,
This kind of where I've been the last few days. Might be a little tougher to envision it now, but I think there's a chance he goes up north. little chilly. Maybe jumping on some tables in the mafia,
Ooh, even after the DJ Moore
even after
trade?
the DJ Moore trade. DJ
Mm,
Moore isn't your X. They still don't have a true X. You have Keon Coleman. Cool. It doesn't do anything for me. So I think Mike Evans would be that true red zone threat that Josh Allen has never had in his career.
that's fair.
So I think putting him there with DJ Moore, then you have a two tight end set with Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. You have
Well, I
your
fully expect Dawson Knox to get cut, just so we're
he's
clear.
still on the roster. You
That's
have
fair.
Khalil Shakir still. There's a good mix of guys on that offense now. James Cook. If they roll that out, I like that. I like that a lot.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I yeah, no, I don't see him in anything other than a Bucks uniform. I just can't get there.
Yeah, definitely tough to visualize.
Um, Speaking of tough to visualize, probably the most interesting one, and I feel like nobody even knows who he is.
Mm,
Alec Pierce.
white chocolate.
Yeah, he is a tough one to figure out. Just everything about him.
I mean, he is what, he's 6'3", 225, something like that. Big body wide receiver.
Moves
And
well too.
he moves great. He's fluid. Has a beautiful route tree that he can run, which is crazy. He didn't unlock that until this past year, truly with DJ
Well,
and
I
staff.
mean, we can
Yeah, I know.
probably figure out why.
2 + 2 = 4. But even then, him and Average had great connection down the field on the go balls. So it's like you have this guy that has shown flashes for the last 3 years, and then finally get him in a position where he can shine above Michael Pittman, who they just extended 2 years ago, and other guys on the team who you thought were better in Josh Downs. So when he becomes like your alpha, that's going to draw some attention. I mean, he posted what was it like 1,100 yards this past year.
Yeah, he had a really big year.
Yeah,
Well,
monster
not really
year.
big, but you know what I mean.
Well, for what he came from to now, it's a big year.
Yeah,
He's gonna get a good
1,000 yards.
paycheck.
It was his, yeah, by far the most yards he's put up.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big jump
Only
from like
47 receptions though.
it, he's big body, catching them deep balls. So I think he's gonna go to a team that's gonna help him out a bit more. Truly unlock other things that he's capable of doing. Working with a more well-rounded quarterback. I'm not gonna say established because he's young, and this is where I have a double dip going back to.
Hmm, fair enough.
I mean,
Um,
if as of right now they don't have a true alpha wide receiver on that team,
mm,
come Monday they might. But
yeah,
as of right now, 10:43 Thursday, March 5th, that guy ain't there. You're not that guy,
yeah.
pal.
No, that's fair. I mean, I didn't even think about the Patriots for any of these receivers because
Interesting. You're
I
you're
fully expect AJ Brown to be traded there, especially
that's
after they
fair.
cut Diggs. Like, it's just it makes too much sense. It's made too much sense for months now. Like, I'm I'm just fully convinced that it's happening. However, similar line of thinking
Mhm.
as you, but and this team might be a little bit scared of doing a move like this, but I feel like the age part of this and just, again, like you said, he's 6'3", 215, like completely different body. They can justify it here, and that is the Commanders.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
I
kind of
mean, you're gonna.
desperate for a receiver right now anyway. Um, Debo is off the books. It's just McLaurin.
Hmm.
That's pretty much the end of it. Um, go get your young guy a safety net, a younger one.
Which your young guy.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he necessarily fits what Washington runs, but I mean, it would be fun to watch.
I mean, Jaden Daniels can throws really nice deep ball.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the other part of it too. Like,
I don't know. I think they'd have to change their play calling up a bit for it, but I mean, could definitely work.
I mean, Kingsbury's a smart guy.
He's in LA.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, as assistant head coach, so
That's
I
right. I
don't know
forgot
how he's
about
gonna
that.
do that from there.
I don't know. It'd only be the first 8 weeks of the year anyway, so
I mean, to be fair, there's 20 different coordinators that were hired this year.
yeah. It's tough to keep up with them sometimes. Um, um, let's stick with the receivers here. Romeo Dobbs.
You know where I'm going with this. I mean,
I
it
know where you're going
makes
with this. I have a
it,
different one going down that route, but
yeah. I mean, it makes so much sense for him to be in Pittsburgh. They need a guy like him who has that intermediate route tree that everybody they've had for the last 3 years lacks. He can run a slant, he can run a dig, and he's such sure hands that it just makes me feel good when he catches a football.
mm,
I've been a big fan of Romeo since he came out of college, since he entered the NFL and was
mm,
showing out with Aaron Rodgers his rookie year. And he's, as long as he's healthy, he's shown that he's going to be consistent. He's going to get you 54 receptions for 728 yards and 3 touchdowns, the 6 touchdowns every year.
mm.
And I need a guy like that to complement my guy that's going to get 1,200 yards and 5 touchdowns. You just need somebody that's going to get you the 8 yards on a second down. So that way you can hit him on a 54 yarder the next play.
Yeah.
And I think that's just such a good compliment to what the Steelers could run. Obviously, I have no idea. This is all brand new to me. I don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
I just know it's not the same old shit.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's fair. Like I said, I have a different one coming to you guys there, but I went with the Raiders on this one.
okay.
You're going to have Mendoza coming in, and like you said, short-handed guy, runs all the intermediate routes. I think between him and Bowers, you make things very comfortable for
Hmm.
Mendoza.
Hmm.
Allows Thornton to be the physical freak that he is.
Yeah, he'd be a Z
And
good too.
yeah, and like you kind of force yourself to start using him just to at least see what 6'5" and a 4.340 can do. So I feel like that mixed with again they might win a bidding war on this one and offer him just a bit more than the Steelers can or will.
Yeah, yeah, super
That
fair.
that lures him there. And then just spoiler alert: Wandale Robinson. That's where I put Steelers.
I think
Smaller
one,
body, but
I think he's going to be pricier than Romeo at the end of the day.
that's fair. I think that's fair. Like the coming from the New York market versus coming from the Green Bay market, you kind of just assume the guy that's been in New York is going to want the bigger payday.
I mean, it's
Um,
also production. It's not necessarily that. Wandale's
that's fair.
posted 1,000 yarder seasons now.
I think he's just
I
got the one. Am I wrong?
I didn't plural. I can't speak today.
Pro rare.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, Wandale Robinson really just popped off this year. Finished with
Yeah.
1014. His most was last year with 699, but has been over 90 catches the last 2 years. Dobbs, I think, just has that. The yards aren't there. Like the numbers are down a little bit more, but it's also, I mean, they've had four guys every year he's been there.
It's also true.
And nobody's putting up crazy numbers with them over the last
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, that's fair. With Wandale, I have him going to Tennessee,
Hmm, that's fair.
uh, going back to Dayball. Familiar face, guy who brought him in, and gets Cam Ward a different type of receiver than he currently has, which is nothing. So
Yeah, Calvin Ridley's
whatever,
too busy on DraftKings on the sidelines.
he's probably not even going to be on the team next year, but that'll give them a fast, speedy guy that can extend plays, has good yak ability, and as we saw, can hit that 1,000 yard mark on our season, even if there's not a better option above him,
Hmm.
like there was in New York. So it's he does the little things well. That's gonna get you the paycheck that he's about to get, and I think he would fit really nicely into what Tennessee's probably gonna utilize this year, especially because he's gonna be familiar with most of it.
Hmm.
Just makes sense.
Yeah, no, I don't hate that at all.
Unfortunately, football doesn't make sense, so it's not gonna happen.
Very true. One last receiver here, just because I want to. Rashid Shaheed,
I think there's really only one place he should go,
back to Seattle.
back to Seattle.
Yeah. I figured we'd be on the same page there. I just feel like he was just such a good compliment to JSN
Yeah,
and what he did for them in terms of special teams. Like, and they have
yeah.
the
I
money to
mean,
do it. Just keep him.
yeah, he was able to extend his game to the next level, which was something that I wasn't expecting from him,
Mm.
and have some bigger games while also contributing a lot more to what they needed on special teams. If you needed a 40-yard play, he could get it to you. But he'll also block for you. He'll also do the gritty things, which is something you kind of need. And Seattle definitely needs that with the way that they operate. So that's a big win for them if they were able to bring him back. But he could also go to Vegas following
Mm.
Kubiak, who caught that out of him. That's my one concern.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't hate that.
I have Seattle, to be
Yeah.
fair, but Vegas could
The
steal
Rams
him
are
in that.
another interesting one there, just depending on
Yeah,
what the price tag looks like on him. Because
yeah,
again, for the same reasons. I mean, Rams special teams is not great. Like he could definitely give them a little boost there.
for sure.
All right, let's go to a couple running backs here. Stick with the champs. Kenneth Walker.
For some reasons you stated earlier, I have K9 going to the Commanders, who desperately need an actual thicker running back. Had it with Brian Robinson, traded him away. Lacked in the run game desperately last year. They were using Austin Eckler a bit too much. He goes down with a torn Achilles, and there's really nothing there. Uh, Ja'Cory Cross Merritt, and uh, didn't really go well there. Like it was fine, but it wasn't what you need. and I think Walker can kind of provide to them a different style of game that they don't currently have on that roster.
Stability.
That's one of it, yeah.
Yeah,
When he's not
like
hurt, but yeah,
yeah, that's fair. No, I agree with that, and I went with the Seahawks again here. I don't think Charbonnet is the answer to be your feature guy.
yeah. I mean, the issue on top of
This is I say this with the belief that they'll get him at a good number.
hmm
I think if it gets to anything more than, and I really think if you even get to like 8 on him for multiple years, it gets a lot harder to swallow that pill. Even with the money that they have available, I feel like that's a tough one to get in line with because he's
yeah,
not Saquon, he's not Derrick Henry, like he's not
yeah,
Christian McCaffrey.
yeah. I get that line of thinking. Running backs nowadays they're just like tough to
Mm.
maneuver and consider what teams value them as because it fluctuates on a year-to-year basis.
Mm. Yeah, like I said, I think that like 8.5 is probably about the max that I would go there. Because even if he
hmm
is like at the upper end of the market at 7 for the next 3 years,
Yeah, I
like
think he's
I think you can justify that.
yeah he's probably going to get the biggest contract of the free agent running backs. I just don't know what that'll look like.
Yeah.
But
Now
yeah,
the other running back of note, Travis Etienne.
hmm
Very curious.
one team keeps popping up in my head, and through what I've been reading online the past couple of days, kind of always ties back to Kansas City.
Yep.
I think it makes a lot of sense. I don't think he goes back to Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville wants him back really. And Casey desperately needs something, a little bit of
Mm.
good juice, a little bit of gas, somebody who can catch, somebody who can block. I think ETN kind of fits it, and they take that because I don't think they don't really value the position enough. So part of me also doesn't think this can happen because they don't value it. So like if Jeremiah Love is happen to sitting there at 9, I don't think they're gonna draft him because they're like, we need other stuff. So like it's tough for me to consider Casey actually doing this, but if they do, I think it would fit well enough to better their offense on what it was this past year.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they didn't value the position for a little bit there because why spend money on a running back when you can just throw it to Travis Kelsey for 8 yards at will
Yeah.
on just quick plays, and you don't necessarily need a running game to kind of build off of.
hmm
As Kelsey's age, that is you've seen that hole become more and more of an issue for them. Andy Reid's a smart guy. It does just feel like ETN to the Chiefs makes a lot of sense there. And I would say the only reason I they wouldn't do it is if they have really good intel that Jeremiah Love is going to be available for them at 9.
Their intel would be lying to them.
Fair. But, in that event.
hmm
Um, one other bigger name that's available, Tyler Linderbaum.
hmm hmm
And I feel like we're both on the same page here. again.
I don't know if we're gonna be, but I want to hear you first.
Chicago Bears.
Oh, see, no, I don't think
Mm.
Chicago. I get it. That thought process immediately went in my mind. Drew Dalman retires. He was the biggest center last year. They signed him to a $27 million deal.
Mm.
He retires this year. Let's get the next big center who's bigger name. Let's sign him. We value the position. But they also have other holes they're trying to fix. They're trying to bring in Crosby. They want to move their money into a different place.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull up their cap room here. They are working as of right now with 32 million.
So you're gonna dump 21 million into a center, essentially, and then strap yourself 11 million to work out the rest of your holes and re-sign guys. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like you go Linderbaum, you can still make a move for Crosby, and then you are just drafting defense the rest of the way.
And
Linebackers, other tackles. I mean,
yeah, I just
they
don't
got some
see
other
that.
pieces here that I'm just looking at that are, where they're gonna save. They can and probably will save money
Sure, I
with
just yeah,
expendable pieces for sure. But and it's Ben Johnson. It's valuing the offensive line. And you just
hmm
lost the centerpiece of that. Pun intended, I guess. Um, and Linderbaum is just out there available for you to go out and get.
yeah. I mean, I get it. I get the sentiment. I just think there's other guys that are gonna fit at a cheaper
Mm,
rate that they're gonna like. I have him going to the Chargers, a team that
mm.
struggled a lot, especially at the center position, and they're starting to value the line a lot more. I think Linderbaum's gonna be able to fit that mold that Harbaugh runs there,
Mm.
and it made too much sense.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say those are like 1A and 1B in terms
Yeah,
of the options there. Um,
yeah.
both are, yeah, both are good choices for sure. The Harbaugh to Harbaugh thing
hmm
makes
hmm
a lot of sense. Yeah, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
shocked by that either.
All right, quickly, let's run through these tight ends here.
Mm.
We have Isaiah Likely, Dallas Goddard, David Njoku.
Mm.
Where do you have him going?
Uh, Njoku, I have the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Same kind of thing that we've kind of said about the Commanders going through this at different points. Um, just getting just making life easier for Jaden Daniels
Okay.
after the
I
way the season went.
I have a similar line of thinking. I don't know if you saw today. Saints cut Juwan Johnson. So in that line of thinking, they need a new tight end. David Njoku. Welcome to New Orleans.
Fair enough.
I think he'd fit perfectly there. Athletic tight end. Do a little bit more. Block, kinda, but not really. But able to be that red zone threat that you need for your young quarterback.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Yeah, that's fair. the 32-year-old rookie.
30.
Uh, yeah, fair enough. Let's go to Goddard.
So I have Titans.
Hmm.
I really have no idea, honestly, with Dallas. He could go anywhere, and I'd be like, sure. I was thinking of a team that needs more help for again. It's the same line of thinking. Aging veteran tight end who can be a good, sure presence for a young quarterback.
Athletic, large catch radius, young guy. Yeah. No,
He
I don't
just,
hate that. I did think about that for Njoku, honestly.
yeah,
With Goddard, I went with the Chargers.
I had that same vein of thinking, but they have Gadsden, who they like a lot, and I don't think they want to bring in another guy on top of that.
I just think Keenan Allen's off the books there, isn't he? Third downs and red zone,
Yeah,
bigger body. Like I feel like that makes a lot of sense. A little extra blocking for you too when you need it. I like that fit so much for the Chargers there.
yeah. I mean, it definitely crossed my mind, but it's ultimately not where I went.
Mm.
And
And
your
then
baby
Isaiah Likely,
boy, your child,
my man, my. Uh,
your
you go
muse,
ahead.
your flame.
I'm still processing this. You
Yeah,
can go
well,
ahead.
get ready to process it because you can see him a lot more when he's playing right down the road from you in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's where you went with that. Hmm.
Philly's going to be looking at tight end now, and they love an athletic freak.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot of sense. Howie Roseman loves getting above average athletic guys on that field, whether it's a receiver, tight end, tackle, fullback, doesn't matter. If you're an athlete, he wants you on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a linebacker, cornerback. He values athletic specimens. So like Njoku would fit. Isaiah likely fits. Somebody who
Mm-hmm.
can really put their hand in the dirt and go. Makes a lot of sense. Because if Goddard walks, they're gonna need a guy and likely could be that person, especially if AJ Brown goes.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, I have had one team in mind on this. Like as long as he doesn't come back to Baltimore, there's only one team that stood out to me on this, and it's why this is going to hurt so much more.
Cincy.
Kansas City.
Oh, well, yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's still on the board that Travis Kelsey hangs him up. But
Sure.
even if he is coming back, like it makes too much sense. That's
Yeah.
like get the succession plan in place there. He's a he's the kind of guy that'll fit there too, just personality wise. Like I don't know if you saw, I don't know who he was interviewing with, but it was just like I just want the chance to make an impact. So
Hmm.
like, I just want to go where he's like I just want to play for somebody that's going to use me and just
Out
wants
there
to
on the field.
have the opportunity.
Yeah.
What better place than developing that reputation there with Mahomes after and just taking over for Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill, but you know, does things is different than Travis Kelsey for sure because he is such an athletic freak. But it I feel like it lines up too well, and I'm gonna hate every single second of it.
Yeah. If it happens, man, it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. However, on the flip side, if I do get that notification that he is staying in Baltimore, I am gonna lose my mind. I don't want to
Yeah.
lose him.
Good luck, pal.
I am. I'm somewhere still between denial and acceptance on it. Like I think I've still mostly accepted it, but
They think you have about 4 days to process it.
yeah, there's still just like 20% of me that is like, but there's a chance he might not leave.
All right. That's all the names we've got.
Mm-hmm.
There's 100 plus more that we could talk about, but
Mm-hmm.
that took us about 40 minutes to get through. And
Yeah,
honestly, I don't got the time of the day.
And I don't want to go through another 20 names either.
You know, there's there's a ton of fits, ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Excited to kind of hear what other people think and
Mm-hmm.
see what you guys have to say. But in the meantime, uh, keep a watch out Monday at noon. Time, who's going to be first?
The fun starts.
My bet it's probably going to be an O lineman. Look out for like Zion Johnson maybe getting his deal out of the way pretty quick. To who,
That's
I have
fair.
no idea, but just throwing that one.
All right, you got anything else here?
I don't.
Let's get out of here.
Let's do it.